Hey guys, Hakeem here, back with some more self-mill jankiness. Looking at an opening hand with 5 land on the draw, a Seance, a Resolute Archangel, and nothing else. I'm actually going to keep it because it's got a lot of good colors, and this is a color-intensive deck. I'm sure I will draw into something. Plus, I got Seance in my opening hand, right? Playing against a 60-card deck who's on the play though, so if he starts with if he starts with Mountain into Goblin, I was going to say he started Mountain, he didn't play Goblin. So you'll notice the Resolute Archangel here. I'm playing a different deck list than I did last night, since, like I said in the deck tech, if you watched it or not, we are in the testing phase. I've been talking to Mobius Chicken Strips, and this is actually his version of the deck. It's 4 cards off mine. I'm not going to talk about it, in the early stages here. Maybe later on when my opponent has a bunch of time on his turns or something. But there are a few changes here. Basically, there's a whole bunch of one-ofs. So we're just looking at a Hellspark Elemental straight to the face. That's 3 damage right on the second turn, so that's going to put us on the clock. One of his suggested additions, though, was Resolute Archangel, to just take these red decks and let them beat us down, and then you can Seance it for free, or you can just cast it depending on the board state and get back to 20, and it's very difficult for these decks to overcome that. So, it looks like a good suggestion at this point in time when I'm at 17, and it's very likely he's probably just going to unearth that fucking thing and take me to 14. But he's going to play a Foundry Street Denizen, which gets +1/+1 whenever a red creature enters the battlefield. So he'll save his Hellspark for next turn, obviously. But I'm going to play a basic this time, and it's going to be a Forest, and I'm going to play a Necromancer's Assistant, because at least that can kill the Denizen. His Hellspark has Trample, and it's going to be exiled at the end of the turn anyway. Not much point in me blocking there. So let's just play the 3-1 here. Bind, an Archaeomancer, a Wall of Omens, and a Forest. We've got the Gravedigger now that we can use to grab the Archaeomancer, should we need it. Now we've got the Seance, and we've got this. Let's talk about the other additions here. We're looking at, yeah, it's the Unearth. The other additions there was 4 changes. 2 Gravediggers left. So we're down to 1. No, he's not going to attack there. So I'm not going to fog here. I'm just going to take the 3. 2 Gravediggers left, and a Planar Cleansing and a Runescar Demon left. We picked up Resolute Archangel, Craterhoof Behemoth, Spider Spawning, and one more card that currently escapes me. So right now we can actually cast this Gravedigger, but the only thing could I Gravedigger a Wall of Omens? That's actually something that I'm going to do. I'm going to Gravedigger a Wall of Omens just to put another blocker in play and get another cantrip creature into my hand. I think that's what I do here. This deck, with the Seance, it really loves the chump block and doesn't mind its creatures dying because Seance brings them back. I'm not going to attack here. This deck doesn't even want to attack. Has no desire to, because that's not how it wins. Now with the addition of 1 Spawning and 1 Craterhoof, though, it can win through combat, but it's just going to be like a Seanced Hoof coming into play. But we'll see. I think this card has a lot of upside. I do. Seeing as we're on 14 already. Our opponent just showed us a Volcanic Geyser, although he pulled it back pretty quickly. It's a 2-drop next to his Krenkos command. I'm sure that's what happened there. So that buffs his Foundry Street Denizen up by +2/+0. But if he's afraid to lose it, then he shouldn't be playing it. It's a 1-drop. If he trades with a 3 or a 4-drop, he's going to be ahead. So this is actually good. So we're going to play a Hedron Crab, and then we're going to play a land, and then we're going to play a Wall of Omens, and we're going to start this whole graveyard building process, and then get the Seance into play. So yeah, do we have a Sanctum? We got a Citadel. We've got a Citadel. So let's play Sanctum since we don't have one, and let's mill ourselves for 3. And let's cast 12 of them. So I will tell you that one thing I do, and I don't do it every day or every week or anything, but I always go back and revisit my decks. And in the description for every deck tech and every video that I make is a link to the deck list, straight to it. I update those tables on No Goblins Allowed every so often. So, I will update this one. Probably not today because, we're still in testing mode. Raid Bombardment is a bit of a problem. That's a lot of reach there. But he's still not going to attack, so again, he's playing right into our hands here. Picked up another land. So Resolute, man, I tell you, it's looking pretty sweet. I'm sure he's cackling maniacally right now. But, without that card, I'm pretty much against this red deck. Even though he's doing nothing, if I don't find a cleansing, I'm fucked. So, Got 5 mana, potentially 6, you know, if I want to play this basic. But I think, honestly, I don't want to play the Seance, so I'm just going to play a tap land and play another Assistant. That's the way I'm going to run it, I think. So let's play this one. Mill ourselves for 3. And let's play Assistant and mill ourselves for 3 more. We're almost halfway through the deck now. So it's getting close to Seance time. It really is getting close to Seance time. Bunch of stuff in here. Of course, the game took it. I'm not going to attack. I mean, this deck doesn't need to. It doesn't need to attack. I mean, if I get to Seance or Crater Hoof, do I have a Crater Hoof? So there's a spawning in the graveyard. So that shores up one of the deck's weaknesses, is 2 flyers. I mean, we're still on the Lab Maniac as planned A. But with the amount of self-mill, I mean, it's just... Every card that you include 1 copy of, it's like you have 2 copies of it, because you see half your deck, I mean, in the first 5 or 6 turns every single game. So now he's gone here and kicked the Bushwhacker, and that's going to buff up all his creatures. But we've got a wide board, you know, so he can attack here, trigger his Raid Bombardment 3 times, so we can just start picking off all his shit. We don't care if our stuff dies, because we just got Seance, and, you know, we can cast Resolute. We can even jump block with that, and then Seance that later in the game to go back to 20 twice, which is pretty insane. So let's just kill everything. Oh, well, we can't kill everything, so let's kill that. Let's kill that. Let's kill that. And let's block that. Alright, so we're not going to take any damage besides the 3 from the Raid Bombardment. And we get to kill 3 of his dudes. So yeah, we'll take that. Now we got a stocked graveyard for Seance. And at 11 life, I don't think I really need to. He's going to Volcanic Geyser for 1? No, it's not going to work. He's going to Skullcrack me. Don't say I can't gain life. Well, you should have kept that open. Now that you've shown me that and taken me to 8, I'm just going to jam this fucking thing right now. Yeah, it's definitely swamp into mill 3. I wasn't going to play Resolute this turn. You know, I was going to play Seance and play Resolute next turn, but you forced my hand. You know, you showed me a Skullcrack. So now I'm going back to 20. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, Mobius, alright, you've convinced me. In my first game, out with the deck, it just basically... I'm not going to say it won me the game. I'm not going to have that much hubris or pride or whatever you want to call it, but that's going to be pretty tough for him to beat. That's pretty huge. Even with a Bombardment and a Goblin token, that's... I mean, I can even start attacking now. I got a 4/4 flyer. Here comes the Geyser for 4. He's going to put my flyer in the graveyard, but hey, guess what? I got a Seance, so I mean, I don't really care. Okay. Yeah, and he's gonna attack for a Raid Bombardment trigger. Fair enough. I can't kill his thing, and I can't attack into it, so that's at least that's a solid attack. That's a solid attack. So let's just play Wayfinder and dredge up a land. See what it is. A whole bunch of them. I guess we're taking Sanctum here. And let's just drop Citadel into play, mill ourselves for 3. Actually, am I gonna play the Seance yet? Yeah, I gotta start the engine up. Mono Red doesn't have a way to interact with that. So here we go. I have no idea what's in my graveyard. We'll find out when Seance triggers on his upkeep. Let's have a look. Is the Lab Maniac in here yet? Yes, it is. Yes, indeed it is. So I think, I mean, Soothsayer. Soothsayer is really good. I'm going to save Runescar Demon for later when I need a specific card, if I do. But Soothsayer is really strong. Generally going to be one of my first choices. So what do we... I mean, I don't think we need Planar Cleansing. I think Treasured Find, honestly, is the strongest card here, because that lets us get any card in our graveyard and cast it. So that's going to be my pick. So let's take the Treasured Find. So another one of the additions, oh, the one that escaped me earlier, was Din Rovahor. So the cool tech with Din Rovahor, I was talking to Mobius about maybe including an Obelisk, because when you have Laboratory Maniac in your hand, it fucking sucks. You need to get it out of there. So I was looking for a discard outlet. So hold on now, let's talk about that in a second. Choose a creature, exile. We get 18 left in our library. I mean, I guess I could go Wayfinder because that gives me more land for my triggers, but I tell you what, I'm going to Seance. This is why Gravedigger's in the deck. He's there to dig up Hedron crabs. So we're going to Seance him and dig up a crab. Yep. And then we're going to play a crab. And now all of a sudden, you know, the speed is on. Speed is on, so let's just play the Sanctum. Mill ourselves for 6 now. Get back to Din Rova Horror in just 1 second, so let's mill and mill. And then we got 2 treasured finds now, but I think we're pretty much well on the way. So let's play Seder Wayfinder here. And grab another land. There's the Crater Hoof. Let's take, I don't know, let's take Citadel just because it's more colors. Not that we need them. So right now we have 7 cards left here. So, I mean, we can just pretty much kill them. I mean, I don't even know why I'm looking here. I don't even need the Spider Spawning. It's just kind of like a safety net against flyers. I mean, this deck just mills itself so fast and so reliably. But anyway, let's just not attack because we don't need to. So on our opponent's turn, it's going to be Wayfinder, I guess. I mean, Soothsayer. I guess Soothsayer gives us an actual card rather than a land. We've already got a land in hand. Sure. Let's do that. And I don't know. Do we take a crab? Do we? I don't know. Does it even matter what we take here? I'm gonna take Soothsayer, just because it's the best of the lot. And now we're looking at a Hellspark Elemental. That's not going to do very much. Actually, it's going to do nothing, even with a Bushwhacker. So he's out of cards now. So that's going to buff up his whole army. We got a 2/5 though that can handle the 4/1, and all of our other creatures can do the other thing. And two bombardment triggers aren't a problem. All right, so I don't know. Let's just kill this stuff because we can. Although, first of all, let's just block that and not take any damage off that. Let's kill that. And let's kill that. Alright. Let's just kill everything. He has no cards. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. So, do I Seance a Crater Hoof here? Well, that wouldn't kill him. It would be nice though if it did. +4/+4 on 2 crabs would make them 4s. +4/+4. No, it's not going to kill him. But it's in here. You know, let's just... I've got to draw a card, so I just don't Seance anything. I just don't Seance anything. If I Seance a Wayfinder, I kill myself. Like this, you know, we gotta be careful here. 3 cards in the library. I'll do an Archaeomancer. Yeah, that'll just get me a card out of the graveyard. I didn't read. Okay, I got 3. Yeah. I don't know. Let's just get Treasured Find. Now we get all 3 in our hand. Okay. Now, now we can play the Citadel. Mill ourselves. And let's just mill him for why not. You know, maybe we'll give him an extra Hellspark, but we're out of cards. Yeah, when the library gets low, I got to do some serious practice with this deck. You know, when it gets low, make sure I don't overdraw my hand, etc., etc. So let's just pass. You know, he's got to have the top deck. He's going to have to top deck the I win the game button, and I don't think that's top deckable. On his turn, I'm just not going to do anything. Just not going to do anything. He top decked Quest for the Goblin Lord. That's not the I win the game button. So when it comes back to me, though, I'm not going to top deck the I win the game button, but I'm going to press it because we're going to look at that Lab Maniac in here. Okay, so I got a few seconds. This Din Rova Horror. I don't know if I finished talking about it earlier. If you have Maniac in your hand, you cast or Seance this thing, target one of your own permanents, and then you discard the Maniac to the trigger. So you get to reuse one of your own ETBs, and you get to get the Maniac out of your hand into the graveyard where he belongs. So it's pretty fucking sweet tech. I was very impressed. But anyways, let's exile the Laboratory Maniac with an empty library. And would we like to win the game? Yes, we would. Yes, we most certainly would. Okay, 3 copies of Treasured Find in hand. Didn't need them. Great. So yeah, Mobius. That was you know, I like the changes. Spawning was there. Didn't need it. Cleansing was there. Didn't need it. Deck is fast enough. Resolute really mattered. You know, yeah, so I'll take you in, actually, I'll show you the deck list. Why don't I do that? Let's go decks. And let's just go sliding along here. And let's have a look at it. So it's very toolboxy, you know. I think this could be the list. You know, I'm just glad I came up with a list that Mobius only changed 4 cards in. That's like a huge victory for me. But yes, the 3 Wall of Omens, you know, early cantrip creature, 2 Seance. I mean, this is the deck right here that you're looking at. That's the deck. Planar Cleansing, you know, we're playing a lot of 1-ofs because you see how many cards we put in the graveyard and draw into our hands. It's every 1 copy card is like a 2 or maybe even 2.5 copies because just you have ways to tutor them out of your library, out of your graveyard. Same thing with Resolute, it's a 1-off. Hedron is an engine piece, we're playing the max. Lab Maniac is a win condition, but we only need 1. Archaeomancer is the, you know, the backdoor treasure find. Necromancer's Assistant, engine piece. 1 Gravedigger, just because it's solid in a lot of aspects. Same thing with Shadowborn Demon, obviously it's an interactive card. 1 Runescar Demon because he can fetch you what you want. These are our core engine pieces, Visionaries and Wayfinders, great with Seance, great on the 2nd turn. Spawning is, again, more about defense, you know, and then we've got Craterhoof that can just sometimes win you the game, especially through Seance. You don't have to pay 8 mana for it, but this deck can get to 8 mana and hard cast it. Soothsayer, obviously an engine piece because it fills the graveyard and tutors you up what you need. Dinrova Horror is an interactive card for your opponent, but it also, you know, does the whole Maniac into the graveyard thing. And 3 Treasure Find, which is obviously, you know, since you're dumping so many cards in the graveyard, this is a key piece. The only change to the mana base was since we're only playing 1 Planar Cleansing, we dropped the plains and picked up a Forest because we have 8 2-drops that are green. That's the only change I made over there. All right, you know, thanks guys for watching. Hope you play the deck, and thanks Mobius for the good conversation. I appreciate it, and it's looking like it's you know, gone from janky to maybe semi-janky. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you for some more gameplay tomorrow.